the Sandbox, a metaverse that is changing the way gaming is being done and it's revolutionizing the industry. We are super grateful to have the CEO of the Sandbox, Arthur Madrid, join us here for some time to give us all a background in terms of how he got involved in the space and what the Sandbox is all about. Arthur, pleased to meet you. How are you doing?
Hey, Zach, how are you?
I'm great. It's good to have you here, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I would really love to start just by asking you the question, how did you get involved in the blockchain NFT space?
So basically, we've been involved in China in one of my trip in 2018. There was a gaming conference where they created a sub conference, like besides to talk about NFTs, talk about smart contract, and we began developing ERC 1155, which is one of the we were co-developers of ERC 1155 with Horizon Game Engine. So I think it was the first time we really think about how to give digital ownership and multiple copies of those assets to creators. So Sandbox is a user-generated content platform, and we always thought about how to decentralize the way people could trade their assets.
That's fantastic. Can you give us a small insight in terms of what the Sandbox is currently doing right now? What are you trying to work on?
So yeah, we are building a blockchain metaverse where anyone can buy lands and create their own digital space and host people. We believe on a new immersive and social experience that is enabling a new way to interact, a new way to build, a new way to trade, a new way to own, a new way to govern. So basically, we do believe decentralization and Web 3.0 can definitely change the way people play. And this is what we're working every day on.
That's fantastic. In your own opinion as a CEO, how do you feel that the Sandbox is impacting the industry right now?
I really feel like we are building utilities and interoperability on the NFT worlds. Like if you look like NFTs, they're sometimes perceived as just one thing, like scarcity and art, like basically like buying some assets that end up being more expensive after a couple of weeks, like the apes. So what we do is we take those NFTs and we bring them into the game. So they become playable. And that's something very different because the content is produced outside the platform, and then by anyone, it's traded by anyone. The culture that those NFTs and art and content are carrying is made by creators completely outside the platform, but then we put it on the platform. They're all interoperable, and we enable people to play with it, and that's also enhance new values. So it's the case with Cybercon, with the apes, Tools of Rocks. We have over 50 NFT collection that are basically playable now into the Sandbox metaverse.
That's exciting. That's fantastic. And I would really love to ask you, what does the metaverse mean to you as an individual?
In my opinion, it's all about the immersion and the experience. It's just moving to a certain way we experience digital product to something that is more powerful. It's basically it's gonna be skill based, gonna be avatar centric, where you build a new kind of identity and all those multiplayer experience that you knew before are in the metaverse are just being revealed in a new way. It could be shopping or creating or architectures or and that's definitely create a new kind of digital job. So for me, the metaverse is a new kind of immersive social experience that brings also a new way to work.
I'm really happy that you mentioned that because I'm aware that the Sandbox is constantly hiring, right? How do you feel that what the Sandbox is actually doing and what other businesses within the NFT space are impacting the job market? And so like, how is it changing the job market right now?
So I think like this industry, it's really the beginning. Even if you could feel the last 2-3 months, we are at the beginning of what we could feel as a massive adoption. So we'll bring like everything related to the accessibility of the concept and the paradigm we are developing. So like most of our challenge for the next years is related to working on to make those technology more accessible, but keeping the truth about it. You know, like it's always like the discussion about like, if the idea is to move back to like what makes crypto and NFTs and blockchain secure, safe, and bring such a level of beliefs, it's because it's crypto and because it's not that accessible, you know, and that makes people say, okay, as soon as I open a wallet, I understand it's secure because it's quite, it carries experience, the UI, the UX, the flows that end up having a wallet for a person carries the main and the core purpose of this technology. So yeah, we are hiring a lot of people because we believe most people are coming to this technology and then definitely needs a stronger level of development, innovation, support, and understanding.
Fantastic. And on that note, the final question I'm going to ask you is, what advice could you give to anyone who's interested in getting involved in this space?
I do think that like blockchain, crypto, and in our case, Metaverse are just an expansion of what you saw. And like, I guess like most of your audience, they are either new or have been working for a company for a while. And I think it's pretty easy to see the opportunities, you know, and see like, for example, for us, it's going to be like how we are disrupting gaming. Like if you look at gaming as it is, and if you compare how play to earn can disrupt gaming, you say, oh, great, I've been doing gaming for 20 years, or I just want to do gaming. Let's do blockchain gaming. It's having much more challenge, much more interest that I think any other gaming company right now. So, and I think I can tell you more about like other industries, but for gaming, I think there is like, if you look at premium gaming or freemium gaming, like mobile gaming, like the way it's done, the way it's built, I mean, it's very, very profitable industry, but in terms of challenge, I think it's incomparable with like how blockchain gaming can reach something about interoperability and a new kind of experience. So yeah, definitely on many level, developers, game design, UI, UX, yeah, like or any architect, like all this for blockchain gaming is just a new way to rethink how games are played, how players are building their profile, like and then how business models are built, completely different than what gaming is actually made now.
That's fantastic. That was very insightful, Arthur. I really appreciate you joining us today. Is there any final words that you would like to say before you go?
No, I'm again like super excited, very lucky. I think Sandbox is a fantastic success and excited to welcome anyone that wants to join the company. Thank you.
For sure. And if anybody would really like to get in touch with Arthur or the Sandbox, the links are in the description of the video. Enjoy the rest of your day, Arthur. Thank you so much for joining us.